What is up, guys? How's it going today? My name is SarahTube, and today we are talking about the scamming problem in RuneScape and really where it started and how it's affected RuneScape for over 10 years. I mean, ever since RuneScape started, scamming has been a huge issue in the game, along with count theft and botting. Those have been the biggest issues in the game, and today I wanted to address scamming specifically because I had a good friend of mine get scammed for about 10 mil, 11 mil, and now he's probably going to quit the game because of it, so it's really unfortunate to see that, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about scamming, why people scam, how you can protect yourself, and what we can do as a community to stop it from happening. Before we get further into it, I did want to just say that these are my opinions and my views and thoughts on this topic, so if you have any disagreements, just let me know in the comments and we can talk about it a little bit more. So why do people scam in old school RuneScape? Now, I was thinking about it and I came up with a couple theories that I thought were some, possibilities of why people do it and what plays into it. First of all, old school RuneScape might be an MMORPG, but it really does have very few team aspects, raids being one of the few, like a couple mini games like Pest Control where you do work with other players, but compared to a lot of other MMORPGs, RuneScape really is not that team-based. You can't join a guild in RuneScape, you could be in a clan chat, but it's really not the same level of connection, so the game really is very individual-based. Scamming is also very easy to get away with. People are hardly banned for scamming, and if they are, they just make a new account. No one really monitors this very closely, kind of put to the side. Scamming really puts you ahead in old school RuneScape, and I mean really ahead. If you were to scam someone for, I don't know, maybe 30 mil, and you're like a low-level player, well, you just paid your funds for the game for a long time. OSRS Gold actually holds real-life value. So because you can buy bonds in the game, you can actually pay real-life dollars to buy, in-game currency, whether it be 2 mil or 3 mil, depending on the bond price. On top of this, there's also exchange sites where you can, against the in-game rules of course, exchange RuneScape gold for real money like US dollars, the euro, or even cryptocurrency if that's what you're into. The underground market for trading gold in RuneScape is so big that people actually make a living off of farming the gold in the game and selling it to other players who are willing to buy it. Since OSRS Gold holds this value, it makes it, profitable for players just to steal a couple mil from another and just sell it online and get money in their bank account. And it's anonymous. I mean, you take money from another player and you have no idea who they are in real life most of the time. Now, before we move on to the next section, I would like to state a little fun fact about actually selling RuneScape gold. Now, it is actually illegal against United States law to sell RuneScape gold for real money because you are actually selling another company's assets for your own personal gain. I'm pretty sure this is correct, like 90%. You guys can correct me in the comments if I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the law. Although it is not very enforced, it is actually illegal to do that. So for new and old players alike, how can we protect ourselves from getting scammed in RuneScape? Now, I've put together a couple tips we can go through here, and the first would be to never listen to spam bots or gambling bots. Most of the time, these guys are trying to scam you, they're trying to get your account information, they're trying to get on your account, or just, steal your money in a trade, so do not listen to these bots. You also have to be wary of other players that are actually trading and selling items not on the Grand Exchange. If you want to be safe, you can just always use the Grand Exchange, and trust me, the Grand Exchange is not going to scam you. But other players can be suspicious, and if you're buying from another player, you do have to be careful because, hey, why wouldn't they sell it on the Grand Exchange either? Another one which could protect you from getting scammed is to not show other players your cash tag. Now, it might be tempting to show other players how much money you've made, and of course, if it's a trusted friend, go ahead. But if you show random players, they could actually be scammers, and while they might not try to scam you and get your cash tag right away, they could put you on their friends list and wait for a different time and come back on a different character and try to coax you in to giving them some of your sweet cash. Another simple tip that'll save your cash tag every time is don't lend other players money. Most of the time, they are not going to give it back, so just don't even think about it. The last tip I have for protecting yourself is do not listen to these anti-scammer dudes that are pretending to be not scammers. What I mean by this is sometimes if someone comes up to you and you see an obvious scam and you know that that person's trying to get your money, sometimes there's anti-scammers will message you saying, hey, this guy's trying to scam you. If you do this, you can scam them and make money. Now, these people are 99.9% of the time in on the scam. If they were not in on the scam, they would just let you know, hey, that person might be scamming, do not trade them, and they won't say anything about making a profit off of it or anything like that. If anyone messages you saying that, ignore them completely because they are in on the scam. I wanted to wrap up the video talking about what we can do as a community to stop the scammers because it really does deter a lot of new players. If you're a new player and you get scammed, you're probably not going to keep playing the game because it is extremely frustrating and all the progress you've made is pretty much gone. First thing I think we could all do that is very simple is protect and notify players if you see them engage with something that looks like a potential scam. Maybe send them a message. Screenshot scamming attempts for evidence. This is a big one. If you see someone get scammed or you got scammed yourself, make sure you take screenshots. Try to include in these screenshots the username of the other player, possibly anything they said, what they were trying to scam you for, and if you can, also sometimes getting the real world time that the scam happened at is helpful in Jagex looking back at the messages that were sent, expose the scammer. If you are more of a solo player, the least you could do is block and report. The in-game system, we're not really sure as a community how effective it is, but I'm sure it does help. On top of this, as a community, maybe we could brainstorm a couple solutions to the problem. I was thinking about an in-game reputation system, so if you like another player and they're a nice dude, just give them an upvote on their profile, and if you don't like them, you give them a dislike, and people that have a lot of dislikes will obviously be seen as, malicious players or just players that people will avoid. I think the last, but one of the most important things we can do all together here is push Jagex for stricter punishments for scammers, even bots and account stealers, account theft. So we could, administer IP bans to people, or we could give them long-term suspensions to deter them from the game. But I think there's been enough of this, just ban your account, suspend your account, because these players all the time will come back. They can just make new accounts, pop a bond right onto them for like 2.5 mil, which they can afford because they're sitting on so much from the scams, and just continue playing. I mean, they use other accounts to hold the money, and they'll just trade it over when they need it for another account. Anyway, guys, have you ever been scammed in RuneScape? Let me know in the comments below. I'd be interested to hear your stories. Put some detail into it because I think as a community we need to all come out with these scamming problems and really attack it so we can stop new players and even old players from losing all the progress they've made in the game, giving it to someone else who's just going to cheat the game and sell it for real money. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want more content like this, and I'll see you all next time.